Hello everyone. Welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. Amy Halterman misses her freedom over Tammy Slaton's Bullsh *T. Amy Halterman really seemed to enjoy the freedom that came with her sister Tammy Slaton entering rehab. Unfortunately, that freedom went out the window when Tammy decided rehab wasn't for her anymore. After just 8 weeks, Tammy convinced her family to take her back home. Amy Halterman, however, got a taste of what it was like not to take care of her sister, and she might just be over it for good. Tammy's rehab gives Amy a taste of freedom. Tammy Slaton goes to food addiction rehab for 8 weeks during the Season 3 premiere. During those 8 weeks, Amy Halterman stops having to worry about and care for her sister. She stops having to do things for her. And she starts living her life with her husband and her son. Amy admitted it was nice to enjoy freedom and live her life. Things change for Amy Halterman when her sister Tammy decides to bail on rehab. Tammy explains that she misses her home, bed, family, and her things. So she packs up and heads out. Chris Combs tries but is unsuccessful at convincing her to stay. Amy Halterman is done with her sister. During the 1,000 Pounds Sisters Season 3 premiere, Amy Halterman gets upset after trying to call in Tammy's medication. The doctor needs to speak with Tammy to get her medical history. Tammy, however, is busy making a YouTube video with her niece and uninterested in talking to her doctor on the phone. Tammy cusses her sister out and asks why she can't just do it for her. Amy walks out when Tammy calls her stupid repeatedly. Frustrated, Amy Halterman admits that her sister has pushed her too far and she's done taking care of the 35-year-old baby next door. She's reached a place where she's ready to start living her life with her husband and her son. The real question is simple. Who will take care of Tammy if Amy walks out for good? Does it surprise you that Amy Halterman is sick of taking care of her 35-year-old sister? Do you think she's done helping her sister for good? Share your thoughts with us in the comments. And keep coming back for the latest on Amy Halterman and her sister Tammy. Amy Halterman stood in the kitchen, elbows pressed against the chipped laminate counter, listening to the hum of the refrigerator as if it were the only sane thing in her house. The morning sun filtered through the blinds in thin lines that fell across the floor like prison bars. Fitting, considering she felt more trapped than ever. She loved her sister. God, she did. But loving Tammy Slaton had become a full-time job, an emotional marathon she never trained for. And lately, it felt like Tammy had turned difficult into an Olympic-level talent. Ever since Tammy had moved back from rehab, she'd been riding a wave of confidence mixed with chaos. A toxic cocktail. Sure, she'd lost weight. She'd been proud. She'd been happy. But the newfound independence had also unleashed a whole new level of dramatics. A level that had Amy reconsidering every life choice that had led her to this moment. Amy heard the floorboards creak behind her. That could only be one person. Amai! Tammy hollered from the living room. Where's my vape? Someone stole it. Amy took a long breath and let her head fall forward. You mean the vape you literally had in your hand 20 minutes ago? It's gone. Tammy shouted again, like the house had burglar alarms tied directly to her vocal cords. Amy closed her eyes. Lord, give me strength. Or earplugs. Either one. She turned and walked into the living room to see Tammy sprawled across the couch, remote in one hand, frustration in her eyes, hair a little wild. The missing vape? Sitting on the cushion next to her thigh, obviously unnoticed. It's right there, Amy said flatly. Tammy turned, looked at it, snatched it up, and muttered. Well, someone must have moved it. No one moved your vape, Tammy. Amy crossed her arms. You lose things because you throw them everywhere. Tammy inhaled deeply from the vape, like she was drawing in wisdom instead of nicotine. You don't gotta have an attitude. Attitude? Amy bit her tongue, because the words that wanted to come out would not be rated PG. Instead, she forced a smile. I'm not starting another fight today. You're the one who's grumpy, Tammy said, turning up the volume on her show. I'm just chillin'. You're the one stomping around like a mad cow. Amy blinked. A mad cow? Tammy, seriously? Tammy shrugged, eyes glued to the screen. If the hoof fits. Amy walked away before she said something she couldn't take back. She'd spent years dancing around Tammy's temper like it was a landmine field. And Amy was tired in a bone-deep, soul-worn way that coffee couldn't fix. She stepped outside onto the porch, where the December air bit her cheeks. Freedom. For a moment she felt it cold, quiet, still. No yelling, no accusations, no dramatic outbursts. Just Amy and a sky that railing. I miss this, she whispered to herself. I miss not having to deal with everybody's Bullsh *T every second of every day. Of course, the second she thought it, her phone buzzed. A text from Tammy. You done sulking? I'm hungry. Amy stared at the phone as irritation flickered inside her like a stubborn flame. I am not your mother, she thought. I am not your trainer, therapist, or personal chef. I'm your sister. And I just want a break. Amy walked back inside, bracing herself. Tammy didn't look up as she said, Can you fix me something? My legs hurt today. Amy closed the door behind her. You know what, Tammy? I need to talk to you. Tammy paused the TV. Slowly. Dramatically. What now? Amy moved to stand in front of her. I'm exhausted. I'm always cleaning up after you, calming you down, finding your stuff, managing your moods, and pretending everything's okay when it's not. I miss having my own life. My own space. My freedom. Tammy frowned, defensive posture rising like a guard dog. So you're blaming me? I'm not blaming you. I'm telling you how I feel. Amy's voice cracked. When you were in rehab, I finally had quiet. Peace. Time for myself. And now it's like I'm drowning again. Tammy looked away, jaw tight. You act like I'm trying to ruin your life. I never said that. Amy rubbed her forehead. I just need help. I can't do everything anymore. For a moment, neither spoke. The silence pressed between them like something heavy. Finally, Tammy sighed. Not her usual irritated sigh, but something softer, almost like guilt, had brushed her shoulder. I didn't know you felt that way, she said, voice low. You never asked, Amy replied. Tammy didn't argue. A rarity. Instead, she shifted uncomfortably. I guess. I've been slipping back into old habits. A little. Amy laughed bitterly. Tammy, you've been a tornado with Wi-Fi. Tammy cracked a smile despite herself. Okay, maybe. Amy sat next to her. I'm proud of you. I want you to keep going. But you can't expect me to carry everything on my back forever. Tammy nodded slowly. I'll try. Trying is good, Amy said gently. But I need more than words. Tammy met her eyes. Then tell me what to do. And suddenly a tiny shift happened. A shift Amy had prayed for. Tammy asking instead of demanding. Listening instead of shouting. It wasn't perfection. It wasn't a miracle. But it was something. I need you to pick up after yourself, Amy said. And handle your own meals when you can. And if you lose something, maybe try looking before yelling. Tammy snorted. Can't promise the last one. Amy laughed. I'll take what I can get. Tammy picked up the remote and lowered the volume. You want to watch something with me? Something not loud. Amy smiled. Yeah, that sounds good. For the first time in days, maybe weeks, the house felt calm. It wasn't total freedom. It wasn't the peace she found on the porch. But it was a start, two sisters trying again to figure out how to exist in the same world without setting it on fire. And Amy hoped, silently, desperately, that this time maybe Tammy meant it. Because loving someone didn't mean losing yourself. And today, for once, Amy felt just a little less trapped. A little more heard.